Hi there. Thanks for joining today. We've got John Girod from Quail Homes, one of the most extensive business leaders in Southwest Washington, Clark County. John, I really appreciate you being here. I wanted to ask you briefly, you've done some incredible messaging that I've seen over the past few weeks coming from Quail Homes into my email box. And I always read it because it's so proactive with what's going on, how to take care of ourselves. And I'm real curious as a business leader, where did this come from? And then what's your concept on it? And how are you messaging as we move through this on a weekly basis, not only for your employees, trades, but also for your homeowners and potential homeowners?
Thank you for having me on. The kind of the invention and the communication was from experience. The last downturn I saw where everybody just kind of ran to the hills. Everybody's going in their own direction. It was about me and the survival. And I thought about it a lot when this thing hit. I said, what should we do differently? And mind you, nobody has a blueprint for this.
Right.
So I invented something that I thought would work. I thought, one, you have to communicate aggressively. Two, who do you communicate to and what? And so I kind of looked at it like a three-legged stool. Our business is really combined. One, you got to have customers, right? Two, you got to have workers to perform the work.
Mm-hmm.
And three, you have to work with industry that isn't such the hands-on thing. Your municipalities, for instance, your civil engineers, your land use attorneys, realtors, lenders, title company. So they were part of the chain. So there's probably 3,000 plus emails that are going out. And I decided to do it twice a week. So once we kind of understood the vehicle, the messaging really is where I put a lot of work into, is what is the right stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What do you send out? People are getting bombarded. So I typically will get quite a few people coming back to me and says, hey, I get like 25 emails every day. Yours the one that I look forward to because it's brief to the point and on message.
Exactly.
And that's really was our goal.
Yep. No, I thought they were fantastic and I enjoy getting them because they're spot on about what's happening this week in our industry, home builders, real estate investors, and it's focused on what we can do now. So as you move forward into this and obviously taking care of the employees was number one, trades, that is your chain. Where are you messaging now for these homeowners that are existing, that state of Washington has lifted a little bit of this moratorium where you can start construction? Where's your messaging this week going and which direction to help that?
I look at it way broader than the week. So part of the messaging, remember the three-legged stool story, was the clients that we had on backlog. You can have all the employees you want. If you don't have work, you can have all the trades you want. If you don't have work, it doesn't matter. Well, our work was our backlog. So really from an internal standpoint, we understood that our backlog was like the gold nuggets you got to protect. So this communication program was just as much for them as anybody else. We had to give them confidence to stay in, hang in there, because they're getting bombarded with a lot of negativity. So I wanted to bring out really positive to the point information to keep them on board with us. And it was very successful. They were glad they were getting them and they stayed on board.
Oh, I bet. Now these are homeowners that have houses under construction or even your backlog, including potential homeowners?
Well, the ones under construction, obviously they were scared.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And the ones on backlog are just as critical.
Yeah.
That's your future cash flow. So our clientele, they finance their homes. They either get loans to build the homes, or they could build them out of home equity lines on their existing home, or they can build out of pocket. So our whole business model is really a pre-sale market geared towards empty nesters. We're pretty much on this side of the river, the experts with empty nester buyers. We've been doing it a long time, really understand it. And in this case, they have time to watch this stuff. And amazingly so, that they were pretty patient. We really didn't get surprising, and that was the goal with this communication program, was not to get into frightened phone calls, the panic calls. We
Right.
didn't get
Sure.
any,
Wow.
none. And
That's
I think a
excellent.
lot of it had to do was with our communication program.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it was amazing. So as you move forward into this, obviously you're going to start, I think, swinging the hammer this week. How are your employees and your trades responding to everything? Are they, I'm sure they're just ready to go.
Well, the last month we kind of, have the headwinds that something was going to break loose. So now how do we work differently? It's really safety protocols. Governor Inslee here in the state of Washington has a very strict protocol. Some might say very difficult to follow,
Yep.
almost impossible. So we have to follow it. And we have
Right.
the protocols in place. We had to train everybody on what that looks like. And the alternative is they'll stop work. So our people are eager to follow the rules.
Good.
And we have a monitoring program that's required that we're doing that. And that's what they call phase one of the construction release here.
Mm-hmm.
What it looks like is the curve stays flat. It's still got to flatten a little more, but as it flattens and stays there, we're going to be able to go to the next level, which is open up phase two of construction, which will be better.
So are you with your home buyers, because they are financing or paying cash, obviously they want to come see the home and they're excited. Are you doing those via FaceTime with the salespeople, with a project manager? How are you handling, say, a pre-drywall walkthrough? They want to look at their electrical, their plumbing. How are you guys handling that right now? Or what's the provisions in the state of Washington for you to do that? And inspections, for that matter, with the
Yeah.
jurisdictions.
Well, you asked a lot there, so
Yeah.
let's start with our internal team. As we actually went to virtual meetings. Like this is the 8th week I've worked out of my house.
Wow.
And I've only left it 5 times.
How's that going?
Well, not something you're used to, obviously, but we
Yep.
have to conduct work. And
Yep.
so we got on board with Microsoft Teams, and it was pretty seamless internally to get that going. We in the last downturn, we went and converted our whole business to digital. So
Nice.
this transformation to add Teams to a digital platform was seamless, simple,
Yep. Yep.
piece of cake. The adjustment really is our clientele.
Right.
They are older. Some are very tech savvy, some aren't. So we basically are doing a lot of training with them, and some will be okay with it, and others will have to probably do some on-site stuff. And the on-site stuff will have to be the safety protocols that all our workers have to follow.
Awesome.
The distancing and wearing the protective. The governor here requires eyeglasses, gloves, and masks, and the 6 separation, disinfecting, logging. We even have to take the temperatures. So we have the digital temperatures. So we are doing all of that.
It's almost like you need a new person on staff just to do all that, do all the protocol.
Where are you going to get them? You got to use
Right.
what we got.
Yeah.
And they're adapting to it, and it's week 1 is right now, so we're
awesome
through it.
Well, you know what I'd like to do with you is I'd love to be able to go on site to one of your job sites, see how you guys are doing this. We would obviously have to do it through all the social distancing protocol, but it'd be pretty neat. Or to have one of your PMs who's out on the site zoom in, and it'd be great to see how you guys are handling that protocol. What do you think?
Probably give us a few weeks because they're just getting it started right now.
That'd be great.
We started implementing it last week. The lift occurred last week. Basically a week ago Friday it was announced, and then we started. You had to get personal protection equipment.
Added cost.
The fact of the matter of that, it's not easy to get it.
Right, no kidding.
Even the face masks are still on back order. So
wow.
It's been quite the challenge.
Well, I'll say. And I mean, and those are things, we don't even think about that, is they put this in place, and yet there's not enough materials for everybody to use to keep moving.
Well, if you look at the top level, the governor here wants to keep the curve flattening.
Mm-hmm.
They know those restrictions on equipment. So if it keeps people from not working, they're okay with it.
Right.
It's a delicate balance. I have a personal opinion on this. I think he's following Bill Gates's advice, and it seems to be playing out. It'll be really into June before we start the next level, which phase one construction includes existing homes
Mm-hmm.
that were being built for residential and or whatever your local municipality allows. And
So,
that's it. So it's not a full release. It's
right.
just,
So let's bring this up. So if you have a pre-sale on a home in Clark County and you want to start the foundation, this is May 2020, can you do that?
it depends on the jurisdiction.
No, it would be, you're in Clark County. So is it, oh, between the city even, each city. So whether it's Battleground, Vancouver, or Camas. Wow. Wow, that is just crazy. You got to kind of wonder how this is all going to play out. So with that being said, where do you think pricing is going to go in housing, residential housing in general? Let's not really let's just kind of look at all forward moving. As we know, we're going to have a backlog because we already are underserved in new homes. I was pulling some stats and we're about 2 months of inventory. We're probably going to be jammed up with a bottleneck. Where do you think housing pricing and so on is going to go as we move into Q3 and Q4 of 2020? Just your opinion.
I don't know that anybody really knows. It just seems early to tell, and I think it depends. I'll answer this with some historical things from the last downturn. The inventory I had, particularly the lots, it's all about the land.
Sure.
And the lots that I had in the last downturn where I was doing a more smaller 2-story master on the main product. So I had smaller, skinnier lots.
Right.
Coming out of the downturn, I made a commitment and I learned a few things that we worked really hard. We have an on your lot program for customs. So we do quite a bit of acreage stuff, and then we do the community homes. And the community homes, as I decided I wanted to make them basically 7,500 square feet or larger was the target of the lots that I wanted.
Wow, that's
So
good size.
when you look at it, that can fit a single level with a 3-car garage, an RV bay. I can do a lot of different things with these homes to make it how people want to age in place. Dual masters, multi-gen, in-home health care, home office, craft room, shop. There's a lot of things I can do on that 7,500 square foot lot that I couldn't do on a 6,000 square foot lot. So I think a lot of it, Heidi, has to be how you're positioned. If you're a Me Too builder with Me Too products, I don't know where the prices hold up.
Yeah.
I really don't. When you're a niche player like what I'm doing, I really wouldn't mind a downturn or an upturn. It really doesn't matter one way or the other because I have lots that very few people have.
Well, and I think not only that, you had mentioned you're multi-generational, especially now more than ever. Just like you said, you haven't left your house you've only left your house 5 times, right? You're fortunate to be able to live in a home that allows you to work from home. A lot of people don't. And I think now that they see they can do this, you've already got the product in place that if it's both people working from home or if it's a family that has teenagers that needs to have mom or dad live with them now because of financial issues. I know personally I'm dealing with that as I've got to get my mother-in-law out here. And being able to have that product at really your pricing is very, very reasonable for our market. And I just think you're ahead of the game in that thought process of not only on the lot sizes, but being able to do a product that's flexible for the change of lifestyle that's occurring, whether it was a year ago or what's going to ever happen in a year. It's allowing a multi-type of buyer to come in, not just the empty nester. Because you don't necessarily cater to a 55 and older, it just ends up coming that direction. Is that right? You don't have
I'm
any,
not sure people really even know what an empty nester is anymore, because you
yeah,
could be 40 years old and be an empty nester.
exactly. Yeah,
Or you could, so it's a very broad definition. I've never really pursued, I've been around the empty nester market since the early 90s, working in it, doing business, and I've never really age restricted anything. I don't really believe in it.
great.
Because a big part of our buyers, believe it or not, are single females.
Wow. Interesting.
Big part. Well, women tend to outlive men. That's all I can say.
True. That is true. Yeah. And they want to get rid of the big house.
Like your mother-in-law is a
Yeah.
good case of that.
Yep. Very
Now,
much
what
so.
do? They obviously have some savings and money. Now, how do they go about living their last chapter?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I mean, we are experts on this. I've been doing it a long time, and I would say in the big picture, if I had to really surmise here a little bit, this business model we have isn't built for the virus. It's built for the changing needs of people,
Yep.
and we can pivot quickly.
I
So
think that's
here's some takeaways that I would have for you and your group. Density is not your friend,
right.
especially with the COVID. So that's a very political thing in Oregon and Washington, is this densification. And I might be a bit of a contrarian on it, but I've never really believed in it. I don't like it. It's not good. So our area can still address some of those things, but it'll be difficult politically.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are less dense. There's more elbow room here than other more dense areas. So it's all relative. So people will be attracted here. So you would ask, where do I see values going? Maybe initially, maybe a little bit of an adjustment, but maybe holding the line, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be much growth. But the fact of the matter is, geographically, we're already in high demand from people that can work from their home.
Very much.
We have the major transportation services here, whether it's air, rail, or even the I-5 system. So we have people that live, especially in Southwest Washington with a stacked tax structure. We really do have people that work out of their houses already.
Right.
They can relocate here. And this is what brings out older buyers. Your mother-in-law is a great example of that. Where she live now?
Tennessee.
We're working with somebody from Nashville right now because their kids are here.
Right. Well, that's the whole reason why she's coming out here, is the rest of the whole family's here.
So I tend to look close, then look out. But whatever's happened to you is happened to somebody else.
Oh, sure.
So we're seeing that the draw for younger people to live in this area, Portland Metro, won't go away. It's
I have
still
to
going to
agree with
be
that.
here. And then adjusting the homes and how they have to function for people, that is something that our model's built for that, but a lot of builders aren't built for it because
No,
it's
they're
not
not.
easy. It's
So
hard.
are you doing, with your multi-generational, are you guys creating like a dual master suite you had mentioned? What's the thought process on the ADUs, say on the 7,500 square foot lot? Are you seeing that, or is it
We
more
can create an ADU within the footprint
in
of
the
the home.
footprint? Okay. Yeah, that's great.
We have plans that do that. So we
Awesome.
have it already, just like it's an
Perfect.
apartment.
Yeah. Well, John, I totally appreciate this today. I really admire the direction that you've taken your business, admire the focus that you've had to get through this. I think there's a lot that people can share, can learn from you. Those that want to see more of Quail Homes and what they do, it's quailhomes.com, quail like the bird. And gosh, just really appreciate your time today. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thanks.
You bet. Have a good day.